Hello and welcome back to Building a Website in Wix with Monday Blues. This is video 3 and today we're going to do some styling and design. We have a couple more steps before we reach our final product, which is this right here. And these are kind of the fun steps. So this is what ties everything together in your website, and I'm going to call it our styling step. So just to make sure that we're going to change out all these vector arts to different ones. We're going to change some of the colors in the backgrounds here. This we're going to do later. This is the Instagram feed, and it's going to be part of our links section, which is going to come after the styling. So, like I said, I like to work from the bottom up. So let's start here. As you can see, I have this reversed, and we can go ahead and do that here. So what you're going to do is click Manage. Once you've clicked on the strip, click Manage Columns. You'll see this. Pick a column. So if you pick this one, your right column is going to be highlighted. If you pick this one, your left column is going to be highlighted. Once you highlight your left column, just slide down here and click that arrow, and it'll just flip them for you. Another thing that we're going to do over here on this column is change the background color. So you're going to highlight this column, click Change Column Background, head into Colors. This is something we haven't done yet, was change our site color. So we can actually go in and do that right now because it helps quite a bit. So to change your site colors, you're going to click on that little button there. And I've already pre-picked my site color so that I know what I'll be working with while we do this. So I'm just going to go enter those values over here. But if you don't have colors pre-picked, what you can do is just play around, click around until you see a color that you like, and you can select it and add it. And that's how I did this the first time. But this time, I'm gonna keep it simple. Add that, that's my purple. There was my... If you don't know what site colors you'd like, I just recommend Googling and researching color palettes as well as other websites that you really like the design of. So if you have somebody that has done your branding for you, let's say if somebody made a logo for you and they just happen to give you brand colors, then you would take those colors and just add them to the site. And what Wix does is it gives you like a nice array shades of those colors, so that if one color, because sometimes if you pick something, it looks a little, it doesn't look the greatest on a computer screen, so you'll have a couple of different options of the same shade that should work for you. So we went with a darker purple. We're going to change this column background to the darker, is it that one? That's close enough. I'll try right there. No, right there. Perfect. We'll just back out of there. Also, I noticed that this picture is still pretty bright, so I'm going to go back in and change the opacity a little more. And I haven't done this yet, but if you switch out into your preview, you can check the colors. Pretty close. Now the picture is almost a little too dark, but that's fine. Alright, so another thing we're going to do is change this Wix form. We can format this. And you're going to highlight the form, you can hit the design button, I don't think I'm going to change the design completely. I'm just going to customize it. And you'll find that a lot of the things that you'll see, like when we go up and do the menu, it'll be the same kind of deal. So we're going to go into fill and opacity. And you see this gray here, that's what they mean by fill in the background. We're actually going to change this to white. So because we did that, all of our font, like all of the writing on the inside, you can't see it anymore because it's also white. So we're going to go down and change that so that you can see it again. So placeholders, make those gray. And then input color is going to be black so that when people fill in the form, they can see it. Set close. And then I think I took out the borders. So that's border. And we're just going to take the width down to 0 because we don't want any borders on this. So I'm just going to go throughout the strip and make sure that everything is spaced kind of nicely here. Everything was a little bit cramped up, or just maybe too heavy on one side and not enough stuff on the other side. So let's just space these out so that we get this nice even look here. I just wanted to show you a little bonus tidbit of something that I learned. So again, remember when we did the grouping with this group, I believe, so that we can move everything in one go? Well, let's go down and we're going to do the same to these. So we're going to click this one, command, click that, group elements, click this one, command, group elements. Oops, not that. Group elements. So now we have 3 separate things rather than 6 separate things. And I want them to be evenly spaced out. So now I'm going to command click each one of these groups. And from there, we're going to go up to distribute. We're going to say distribute vertically. And what that'll do is make sure that they're all equally spaced apart. And yeah, it helps you out. It's a little design tip. So now that you've got them all highlighted, I'm also going to center all 3 of them so they're all in line. Excellent. All right, we're finally here. This elusive Instagram strip, we're going to change it. This one is black and it's a little bit smaller. So we're going to go to change background to color, change it to black, close out of there, and then we're going to not drag it. My mistake. So if I want to make it smaller, I have to go from the bottom. And it's not going to let me do it unless I move this actual Instagram feed up a little bit. So we're going to move everything up. And from there, then I can shrink it. Okay, that looks good. This one, there's not too much to do. I think it's a little bit smaller on this page, so let's make that a little bit smaller. And the great thing about when you're stretching is that if you're going up, it's going to grab all the layers underneath of where you're shrinking and bring it up with you so that you don't end up with a space that you have to like move everything around to fill. So that looks good. Let's just pop out and see how things are looking. Okay, things are getting close. See, that's why I cropped it on this side. Now I see it's because there was a watermark from my amazing photographer, MKM Photography, and just for the sake of having it on a website, I was going to take it out so that it's a little bit cleaner. Okay, Still have to change that Instagram over, which we'll do in a few steps here. But this bottom one is almost identical. Little differences in size and the way things are oriented, but we can fix that really easily. Okay, so our next step is going to be this opening page, our home page. So I always like to put a little extra razzle dazzle in the home page, just because it's going to be the first thing people see when they land on your website. So I like to keep it clean, keep it open. People should know what your website is about within the first 5 seconds of landing on your page. So just having a very clear marker or indication or explanation of who you are and what you're doing is good and helps people. So we're going to scroll up to the top here. Notice how I moved the menu. So this is a menu and that's a social bar up to the top left. We're going to do that as well. Social bar, it's about there. The menu over there as well. Now you'll notice that the menu has got a different font. It's a little bit bigger. So let's go into design to look at my little cheat sheet. Menu, Avenir 15. So we're going to customize design. Again, you can change your menu completely if you want, but we just need to change the text. So down here at font, you can just type in Avenir and it'll bring you to Avenir. And then size 15. And type in as well. Okay, and another thing that you'll notice is different are the colors. So it's white, but the hover over is like this periwinkle bluish color. So if you see, this is regular, but if you click hover, this is what that hover color looks like. So we're going to pick that periwinkle blue, which is that one. We're also going to do that for clicked as well. Periwinkle blue. I don't know, or it's like lavender. I don't know what color that is. So let's pop out into preview and check that out and see what it looks like. So it's white, and then when you scan over it, it does a different color change, just so people know that their mouse is in fact perfect. So let's go back to editor. We're not going to use this gallery page, so I'm actually going to show you how to delete these pages. We are going to go to menu and pages. So there's 2 pages in here that we don't actually need. You're going to expand that and click delete. Okay, that page is gone. We also don't need a shows page. If you do need a shows page, keep it. You can go in and edit it and play around with that. Delete that as well. We are going to be adding a couple more links up here. I will show you that towards the end though. The next thing that we're going to do is import a logo. You can either create a logo in Wix just by using text. I had a little bit of extra time, so I just kind of created a little logo myself. You can either do this in Canva. There's a lot of programs where you can create logos or have someone make one for you. That's how I'm going to be showing you how to import it, but in case you just needed to write your logo in, that's how you do it. So you just go into text, add text, and then pick whatever text that you would like it to be, and that would be it. but that's not what we're doing in this case. We're going to add an image. I'm going to have to upload it from my computer. Okay, so this is the logo that I want. I'm going to click Add to Page. And there it is. I do want to position it up on the header, so we're going to crop this. I do want it to be a square, but I'm going to drag this in so that it's a little bit tighter and I can maneuver it easier. Apply, and then we're going to make it smaller. Once it's small like this, I can drag this up to the header of the page. Okay, that's looking pretty close. This is down a bit further. This is up a little bit higher. Okay, and we're going to change the style of this button as well. We're going to click the button, hit Design, and we're going to keep this, but we're going to customize it. So instead of having a fill, we're going to turn that down to 0, and we're actually going to build a border instead. So we're going to make a white border so that we have some contrast. And let's do a width of 2. Instead of upcoming shows, you can keep upcoming shows. I just prefer this be a contact for my own page. So we're going to click on it, say change text. Put contact. And we're going to add this link to Anchor Contact Us. So I'm going to teach you how to create another anchor. And when you create anchors, they show up in your menu up here. So we're going to create an anchor for About so that it's Home, About, Contact. Okay, and it looks like just a little bit smaller. Click on it, center it. Next up is the fourth and final video as we complete the site.